Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today, let's talk about how we often hold ourselves captive. We often do this to ourselves. And what do I mean by that? Today, I'm referring to relationships. When you get into a relationship and it's not evolving the way that you have been asking for it to evolve, but instead of doing whatever you need to see that change happen or put yourself in a position where you can be in a relationship to experience the things that you're looking for, we hold ourselves captive by staying there. We hold ourselves captive by sometimes not even saying exactly what it is that we want, because there are a lot of relationships where we as women go in and we're wanting to eventually have a serious commitment. We're wanting monogamy. We're wanting to be engaged and eventually go into marriage. And we do speak these things to our partners. And sometimes it does not happen because that is not what he is actually looking for. But there are a lot of times that we as women go into relationships and we do not speak up. We're not saying what it is that we're wanting. We're not saying what it is that we're needing. We're holding everything in fear of, if I tell him these things, he may run away. Or if I tell him these things, he may think that I'm controlling, or whatever thoughts may be running through your mind. And so instead of us doing what we need to in order to be at peace with where we're at in our lives, we sit there in that, right? We sit there and we complain about it. We call our girlfriends. We talk about how frustrated we are. We cry at night alone, and just whatever it is, but we hold ourselves captive in that situation instead of freeing ourselves. Because in all honesty, ladies, we have the freedom of choice, right? And so when you are choosing to either not speak up or speak up and these things are not happening for you, if you do not then come up with a plan, come up with a timeline for yourself, or whatever it is that you're needing to be satisfied with your relationship or in your life, then you are choosing to stay there stuck, being frustrated, feeling sad, feeling unwanted. And eventually it does start to mess with our self-esteem and the way we view ourselves, because we tend to begin to believe that maybe I'm not worthy of these things that I'm saying I want or I need in a relationship. It is so important for us to be honest with ourselves when we go into relationships, right? Sometimes you have to take a step back and evaluate the relationship that you're in. What is working for me right now in this relationship? What isn't working for me right now in this relationship? Like, you have to honestly ask yourself these questions and be honest with your answer. If you're in a situation where you're wanting to eventually be married and you've been with this person for, I don't know, X amount of years, and this conversation has been had over and over and over, and the time keeps getting extended and extended and extended, and then this is where you now have to put on your big girl panties. You have to step in and you have to decide what is worth it to you. Is it worth it for you to continue staying in this relationship where it's starting to become apparent that what you're wanting is not what your partner is wanting? Is that worth it to you? Is that worth your peace? If you're losing peace out of it, is that worth your happiness? If you're walking around sad, is that worth it to you? If not, then what is the game plan? What do you do next? And I'm not saying like, oh, go give an ultimatum, but you have to set a timeline for yourself, and you have to decide what you will and will not tolerate, because this is your life, right? And so it's okay. If this person does not want the same thing that you want, it does not make them a bad person. It just makes them the person that is not for you. That is not the person that is meant to spend their life with you. And so I think a lot of times we get in situations where we end up with someone and we fall for this person, and we're giving them so much of who we are and so much of our love and our time. And when we don't receive what it is that we believe we should be receiving back from this person because of all we've poured into them, we label them as a bad person, or we label them as trash, or a no good, you know what, we give these people labels and then we hold anger towards them. But again, we have to take responsibility for our choices. We have to take responsibility for our lives. So even if you at one point believe that this person was on the same page as you, once you get to the point where you realize that they're not on the same page as you, they're not wanting the same things that you're wanting out of life or out of a relationship, then you now have the choice to either stay there, stay captive in this relationship where you're unhappy, where it's not going where you're wanting to go in your life, or you can set yourself free. So this is where you have to ask yourself right now, what decision do I need to make to get myself in a space where I feel free? Feeling free, it looks like you're free to be filled with joy. You feel liberated. You're excited about where you are in life again, what's going on in your life with your relationships. You're excited about where life is going for you. You're happy. You are at peace. What decision do you need to make right now so that you can be in a space of freedom and you are no longer feeling or holding yourself captive in a relationship that is not working for you? And again, doesn't mean that the person is a bad person. It just means that that is not the person for you. And you have to be grown enough. You have to be mature enough. You have to be wise enough to be like, you know what? This is not working. 5 years from now, 3 years from now, I don't want to be in the same space. Yeah, this doesn't make the person a bad person, but this is not for me. It's not working, and I have to let it go. It may hurt for a little bit in the beginning, but what would you rather? Would you rather deal with that pain now, or would you rather take this and drag it out for how many more years? And then still end up in a place where you're having to heal yourself again, because eventually you're going to have to let it go, or you will be dragged. I say you will be dragged because this is what happens when we refuse to let go of something that is not working for us, something that is not going in the direction that we are needing for our lives, needing for our peace. When we continue to hold on, we get dragged. So would you rather make the U-turn now and go a different direction and get back on the path that you're wanting to go on, or would you rather continue down that wrong road, hold yourself captive, lose your peace, lose your excitement about life, you lose your self-esteem, your self-worth, get dragged and hurt along the way, and then still have to heal yourself from all those years that you allowed yourself to stay there and continue to be hurt? I just want to remind you, ladies, it's very important that we figure out what it is that we want. What is it that you want? What is working for you right now, and what's not working for you? What is happening right now that's bringing you joy and peace and love, and is causing you to feel liberated in life? And what is happening right now that's pulling all those things away from you? And then make the decision to set yourself free. There's no reason for any of us to be holding ourselves captive. We have to love ourselves enough to know that we deserve better. We deserve the best. We deserve everything that we're wanting and we're hoping for. And then go ahead and make that U-turn, sis. Make the U-turn and get back on the right path. So until the next video, I love y'all so much, and I'll talk to you soon.